I mean, I think when you realize how wide open India is, and I didn't know that, but how wide open it is and how much opportunity there is in this little bar cocktail culture business arena, that it's just my goodness. I mean, just think of the runway that India has and that Meenakshi has, and where she's going to be, 5, 10 years from now. So it's super cool. I
Thank you.
project that she's going to be running a large chain of Indian discos, from what I understand, with a monk, kind of a monk-related sort of overture. So,
They will be
but
our first regular.
I will be an investor, yeah.
But if you can find a way, Meenakshi, to bottle that joy and send it to us all so that we can
No,
re-inspire
it's
the bartenders in London and New York and Atlanta, and
yeah. You
that
know
would be
what?
great.
I'll tell you a little bit of what the question was regarding the difference between Asia. I feel like, it's the same thing. Like, when the industry is starting up, there's young, fresh energy, and that young, fresh energy is raring to go, right? And you go to Bangkok and you go to Taiwan right now, you go to Philippines. These are the markets. Like Singapore and Hong Kong there's a little bit of a, let's say, like, there's a seniority which is coming into the way they're doing things, and the conversation is very much I mean, they have led the way in the Asia Pacific. But of course, now there are these others. I feel like the big difference between the Asian bar scene and the Western bar scene is that, right? I think the huge part is the newness, the excitement, the last X number of years. You see it. You see it moving across. You see it in 50 Best of the World, 50 Best of Asia. You see it in Tales of the Cocktail. You see in all of these Spirited Award awards, a whole lot of these spaces, right? So, of course, the excitement of almost enlarging the world, going beyond the Western world is happening. And I feel like the energy and the joy that you're talking about is that. Probably 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this was the London bar scene. And we've heard about, we had Kevin Armstrong there who shared some amazing information. Like his session was so inspirational. He was one of the first, he's from Match Bar in London. He's what he's achieved and done with, he worked under Sasha Petrusky, and like, you're talking about the living, like the real legends of the London bar scene. And he was there to share that. And I promise you, our team at Sidecar was shit scared of that he had a guest shift at Sidecar. And because I'm telling you, he brought his own blender, he got his own
Oh,
blender from you from London and carried it, because he carried his own everything. And after he finished his shift, he cleaned all the bottles and put them back. And I was like, this is the owner of Satan's whiskers, guys. This is how it works, and my team was in awe of him, and I think they were really scared to even talk to him. But thankfully he had a wonderful time. He sent us many amazing messages, emails about how lovely our team was. And I'm so happy to hear that. But yeah, I really did scare my team to say that, I'm bringing, like, this is the top tier, right? This is the A category. The most famous bartender who's ever worked in your bar. In the last 8 years, we've had many really famous, let's say, bar people of today, but we don't have the real ones who really started it off, right? The ones who kicked off this entire movement. So we do take that inspiration, and I feel like London and New York, and they've set the standards for a whole lot of us, and we've watched them, right? Over the years, we've been watching what they're doing and how they do things. And I think that, yeah, that's the beauty of the industry also, right? How the cultural exchange is happening through these bar shows. Every time you travel somewhere outside of the country, you meet your own friends but in different countries, and yeah, learn a ton of things, and a lot of respect for that culture, for who they are, and what they're about.
we've got Kevin agreed to come on the podcast, by the way, as did Ian, as did Sophie, as did
I didn't think,
Sarah. Like, I was
you
just recruiting.
you accosted people. Dave,
Yeah,
you were accosting people.
absolutely. Absolutely, I was. Relentless. Yeah,
Yep.
unapologetically. Yeah, it's like, "Hey, we've got the best podcast in the world, and, so you guys can be on it if you want to. I mean, no big deal, no pressure, but we're number 1 in our
It'll be
hearts." So
amazing.
they
Yeah.
said that they were all saying, "Yeah." So we can get them.
No, absolutely. I mean, if we find a good conversation, why not? I mean, we would love to have them, something which is, which they can speak to.
Yeah, yeah, but I thought it'd be fun. You've wanted that. You've said, "Hey, we need to get cool people on here that we're not cool enough," and I'm like, "I think I found a bunch of them. I found them at the India Bar Show." perfect.
Well,